Hi, I'm Geoff Dean, your Player Development Director, and today's coaching tip is on how to execute golf shots much better. We focus oftentimes on the physical and mechanical aspects of improving, but we don't think about the mental side of the game. So today's coaching tip is going to be on how to mentally prepare on your golf shot. And typically, many good golfers will prepare in a simple three-step process. We see it, we feel it, and then we do it. What does that mean exactly? Well, we imagine the shot in our mind first. We picture it clearly, how high it's going to fly in the air, how it's going to land on the ground, what it's going to react, how it's going to react once it hits the ground, that kind of thing. It's really important to imagine the shot that you want to hit. But it's especially important to not visualize on avoiding trouble. For example, you don't want to stand up on a tee and imagine yourself not hitting it in the sand or the lake or out of bounds. You want to focus on exactly what it is that you want to accomplish, not what you're trying to avoid. And then the second piece of that puzzle after you see it is that you feel it. In other words, you take a quick practice swing of the same swing that you imagined in your mind. And then thirdly, step up, execute, and swing the club and trust it. You'd be amazed at how this little process will change your game on the golf course, and that you become less focused on the physical and the mechanical and more on feel. And all great golfers have good feel. So I encourage you to follow me out on the practice tee, and let's dive deeper into this coaching tip. Today's coaching tip is on how to execute golf shots more consistently and successfully out on the golf course. We work very hard at our mechanics and practice on the driving range, but that doesn't always translate to the golf course. And all great players have an ability to have what we call a pre-shot routine that prepares them for each golf shot. So as we talked about just a moment ago, the 3 steps to hitting the ball really well on the golf course has to do with a mental preparation and less physical. We want to see it first, we want to feel it second, and then simply execute. So what is seeing it? Well, seeing it is visualizing the shot you want to hit at hand, imagining it in your mind, observing the ball flying in the air, where it's going to land, how it's going to fly. And I want you to put that picture and image into your head and believe that you can hit that shot that you just created. That's seeing it. Second step is feeling it. So once I'm here next to my shot, I want to literally practice the swing that I just imagined in my head. Doesn't matter mechanically, doesn't matter if you're a beginner, doesn't matter if you're an advanced player. I want you to see the shot in your head first. Second step is to feel that shot. In other words, practice the shot that you imagine that it would feel like to hit the golf ball. In order to execute great golf shots, it's a matter of feel more than it is correct mechanics. What do you feel it's going to be is a critical thing. And then step 3 is simply execute. So I'm standing here in a dreaded shot where we have to hit a wedge over a bunker, and oftentimes we get fixated by the sand itself and we forget what we're really trying to do, and we get so caught up in what we don't want to do, and that is hitting it into the sand, that we end up hitting it into the sand. We have to really focus in on what it is that we're trying to achieve, and that's a nice high shot over the sand onto the green. We always have to think of what we do want, not what we're trying to avoid. So it's never a good idea to be thinking in your mind avoiding trouble. It's always a good idea to be thinking about what it is that I'm trying to achieve. So as I stand here behind the bunker, I'm looking at this shot. I'm looking at where I want to land. In this particular case, I have my 60-degree wedge. I don't even really see the bunker. I'm looking at where I want to land the ball, how high I want it to land, and then from there, that's seeing it. Second step here is I'm actually feeling it. In other words, I'm practicing the swing that I just imagined in my mind. That feels pretty good. And then step 3 is I line up, make my last final decision, set up to it, and swing. So that is an example of seeing it, feeling it, and then doing it, and repeating that action over and over again. So I wasn't thinking about mechanics, I wasn't thinking about balance, I wasn't thinking about ball position, I wasn't thinking about any of those things that we practice on the driving range, which are necessary. I was focusing in on more the actual target, seeing how high I wanted to hit it, where I wanted it to land, and how I wanted my body to feel while doing it. And then, of course, in that feeling aspect of it. And then the last piece, of course, is just stepping up and trusting the feel. And so that's going to help you out on the golf course, where something like hitting it over a bunker onto the green doesn't even come into your mind, because you're not even really looking at or thinking about the bunker. What you're thinking about or feeling is the image you've created in your mind, and that's the shot to the target. So I encourage you to go out there and practice not only on your mechanics and the physical aspects of your swing. I want you to go out there and get your mind ready for the game, and that is, on every shot that you hit, I want you to visualize the shot first. I want you to practice it second, and then execute it third. And if you have any more questions on this type of training, this is mental training, please feel free to contact me at gdean@pgawest.com. Otherwise, I will see you out here on the golf course, and have a great day.